Hi everyone, I hope you're having a great week so far. I wanted to read a little bit in this book. Again, this is Love Has Wings, and this is chapter 3, and it says illusion number 3, there is not enough. And I thought this chapter was really good because it kind of talks about the idea that we always want what we can't have, and also how we are never satisfied with what we have, and how we should kind of rewind and appreciate everything that we have been given, and how to make the best of every situation. So I'm going to start. The idea that we need something we don't have right now is the root of our discontent. We are never completely satisfied with this moment. Even when we get everything we thought we always wanted, it feels like there is something missing. Why? Because deep down we feel that we are lacking, that we need something more. And we have become so accustomed to waiting for that something that nothing is ever enough. The habit of feeling dissatisfied has become almost universal in modern life. This is true for the rich and poor, for the loners and the social butterflies among us. How do we break this vicious cycle of unfulfilled desire? Many spiritual traditions interpret desire as counterproductive, something we must conquer in order to experience realization. Other schools of thought, such as positive thinking, consider the fulfillment of desire to be the goal of our spiritual work. I propose an alternative approach. Embrace desire so you can see through it. When we deny a desire, it gets bigger. We all know what we will immediately start thinking about if we are told not to think about an elephant. Similarly, if we're craving a piece of chocolate cake but tell ourselves that we shouldn't have one, chocolate cake will crop up in every corner of our minds. Yet, it is also true that if we want to experience inner fulfillment, we must learn to transcend the fickle whims of the mind, which fluctuate constantly in an unending cycle of high and lows, achievements and disappointments, successes and failures. Spiritual realization is the greatest desire of the heart. Just as an adult is no longer interested in the toys a toddler would find fascinating, a taste of love consciousness makes other desires pale in comparison. So we find liberation not by denying desire, but by discovering our truest, purest desire. Once we do that, then we obsessive and needy desires for external satisfactions naturally lose their power. Our desires are tinted by the memories stored in our subconscious mind. Women who repeatedly find themselves in abusive relationships often come from violent upbringings and associate abuse with love. Of course, they are not consciously choosing this, but the trauma of past experiences taints their choice of partners. For others, the things we look for in a partner may be the things we felt were missing from our mother's affections. A desire for personal wealth may be motivated by having felt less wealthy than our friends at school, or wanting to prove ourselves to someone we looked up to or even envied. Of course, these are just examples, and each of our stories is unique and different. But the important thing here is that we understand that our desires are not rational, and because of this, they cannot be removed by rational thought. Any attempt to intellectualize our way of desire will ultimately end in denial. Even though intellectually we want to let the desire go, the support system of our personal matrix is controlling us from a deeper level. We can convince ourselves that we really don't need that new car, that soon we'll tire of it and be lusting after a new model. But although we may understand this intellectually, the want that drives the desire does not come from the intellect. It comes from a deeper space, a place where we feel incomplete within ourselves, where we feel that something is lacking. Although we may not lean into desire, the cravings remains, influencing our life in ways we may not even be aware of, manifesting as other desires or feelings of lack, obsession, or need. When you find yourself obsessed with a desire, something you feel incomplete without, stop for a moment. Close your eyes and take your attention inward. Ask yourself, what is missing in this moment? Bring your awareness fully into the present, experiencing this moment with the sensation it brings in all its intensity. Go deeper beneath the thoughts and the sensations. What lies there? You may not feel it at first, But as you become more accustomed to taking your awareness beyond the surface level of perception, you will discover the joyful fullness of being that is always present, always complete. The experience of love consciousness is so profound and fulfilling that you will soon become addicted to it, because you will realize that this is the only thing that can complete you. This is the best addiction you can have, for it produces no cravings, and its supplies never run out. There is nothing wrong with desire. The trick is to desire without attachment. What really matters is that you be in each moment. Be present and be willing to let go of the attachment of how things need to look. If you focus on being instead of having, on experiencing this moment to the fullest instead of the object of your desire, everything comes. It comes by itself. Before, things had to look a certain way for me. In order to experience joy, I had to receive something specific from the outside. Recognition, material gain, romantic love, attention. I had to win. I had to be the best at what I did. If not, there was no joy. Now that has changed, and do you know what I'm left with? The suffering. That doesn't mean that I no longer have goals or projects. It just means that my fulfillment no longer depends on their outcome. Now I put all my passion into creating and exploring my pursuits. But if something doesn't round out as planned, I no longer suffer. The world we live in is meant for us to love it. It is designed for us to experience it to the fullest in our own unique and perfect expression. Let's celebrate life, explore our dreams and aspirations, and at the same time cultivate an inner experience that takes us beyond them, to establish a space of stability and self-acceptance from which we can watch the magic of existence unfold. It's kind of a very heavy chapter in a way, because it just unfolds everything that we feel inside of us and how we often end up judging ourselves when we don't succeed with different things. But as she mentioned, it's not about succeeding or even the outcome. It's about the fulfillment that the project itself brings, and how you are so much happier if you can just find happiness within doing instead of having. So I really enjoyed it, and I hope you guys did too. Thank you so much. I'll talk to you soon.